It's clear, yeah. You obviously understand our agenda. We know that there's crisis in Catholic schools with teaching, and you just read the news, whatever, like you get it. So it's fine. We get it. We're not going to be here to disrupt that, cause problems, so it's all fine.
You know what?
Glad we had that conversation, though.
Really
I appreciate your...
LifeSiteNews.
What you just listened to was a sneak peek clip of an up-and-coming documentary we are producing here at LifeSiteNews. It's a film about the crisis of public Catholic education in Canada. My goal was to attend a conference hosted by the Catholic Curriculum Corporation. I wanted to attend this conference because close to 1,000 Catholic teachers from across the province of Ontario would be there. I wanted to ask some of these teachers rather basic Catholic questions. Things like, why are you Catholic? When we enter a Catholic church, why do we genuflect? What is transubstantiation? Like I said, basic Catholic questions that you'd think Catholic teachers would be able to answer. However, after capturing one lousy interview, one of the directors of this conference, hosted by the Catholic Curriculum Corporation, said this. Have a listen.
It would be theological questions, and we just want to know how much Catholic teachers know about that stuff.
No? I don't want you to ask that. Because the reality is you're going to have a lot of people that are here that maybe you can have teachers here that aren't Catholic.
Wait. Oh, really? I thought it was like...
You could have somebody, like, they're Catholic, sorry, but you could have somebody that could be here as a participant on the day, as part of the staff. Staff are Catholic, teachers.
No.
Why do you have to get it on video? I don't want to put anybody on their toes about what they know and don't know.
Sure, yeah.
Unfortunately, you may be far farther along in your theology than some of our teachers.
In a non-judgmental, like you're going to hell or you're a terrible teacher. No, it's Tolkien writes a lot about, we think, in a novelistic way
100%.
About the faith and all that. And so if that's...
I know.
Yeah, if that's a problem, I mean...
It's a problem insofar as that's true. And like this is a way to come in and have an encounter with God through an author,
right.
Through an author's work and his message. Closer to the sacraments is what makes us Catholic.
Yeah.
If we're not a Eucharistic community, what are we?
Yeah.
Right? What are we? So we do need to do adult faith formation with teachers. It's like, I don't think there's anything more important. If you don't have it, you can't give it.
Yeah.
You can't give what you don't have.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, yeah.
I'm saying too much. I don't know you guys that well. But if you use video and it highlights some staff who are poorly theologically formed,
right.
And let's say those staff are Catholic school board,
right.
And they see this is how I've been used, then what you can expect is like it's a pretty big board, Catholic Teachers Association. You just wouldn't want to put anybody in an awkward situation.
Yeah.
I don't think for your first time coming, looking to expose what may be wrong is cool. Talking to people about stuff.
Well, we would do that. I mean, we're not just going to...
But then you're coming back to saying, here's the poverty in the theological formation of Catholic teachers. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean...
You want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
then that's the understanding,
If you want to do that, I don't want you to do that.
Okay.
You know, and I know there's issues, right? We read...
That's very aware, yeah.
Whatever, you can read lots of different publications. We've got the Archbishop coming tomorrow.
Francis Leo, yeah. Was he here today too? No.
He's here to celebrate Mass tomorrow. And I hate for him to come to an event and then suddenly go out to say... And I think it might open a can of worms for if somebody is being put in an awkward situation.
Yeah.
And I meant like Thomistic.
Like Thomistic Aquinas. Yep.
You know, most staff can have influence. So, yeah, that's how I feel.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Understood. It's clear, yeah. You obviously understand our agenda. We know that there's crisis in Catholic schools with teaching, and you just read the news, whatever, like you get it. So It's fine. We get it. We're not going to be here to disrupt that, cause problems, so it's all fine.
You know what?
Glad we had that conversation, though.
Really don't
I
want
appreciate
us
your...
on LifeSite News, although I enjoy reading it.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not saying I want to be doing an article in there for this.
Yeah, sure. Fair enough. Yeah.
Well, it's rather surprising that this teacher knew the Catholic faith so well and yet was so reluctant to let us ask other teachers Catholic questions. But maybe I'm just being a troublemaker, and this well-educated teacher just wanted to defend the Catholic Curriculum Corporation. Well, let's look at the approved curriculum this corporation provides Catholic teachers, shall we? And for the record, I'm only going to look at 2 of the many lessons provided. There's a lot of material on this website, like anti-racism training, bias and discrimination booklets, and many more lessons filled with tons of colorful pride imagery, woke language, and buzzwords like diversity and acceptance, which is really leftist code for propaganda that completely contradicts our beautiful and glorious Catholic faith. The first lesson is on privilege, where the teacher rounds up students from the classroom for an activity called Step into the Circle. You would have to step into the circle, hence the name, if A, both of your parents are still married, you grew up with a father figure in your home, or step into the circle if you can choose Band-Aids that match your skin tone, the color of your flesh. Yes, if a student has a father figure in their home or can find Band-Aids that match their skin tone, they are supposed to step into this circle to illustrate to the rest of the class that they are inherently privileged. Now, this must be one of the most racist, segregating classroom activities I have ever heard of. And yet, they present this, the Catholic Curriculum Corporation is trying to present this activity in the light of Catholic social teaching. What a twisted mindset. This exercise is clearly designed to damage the reputation of students, making them feel bad for simply finding Band-Aids that match their skin tone or have a dad at home as God intended it to be. But not for the Catholic Curriculum Corporation, of course, because God's intentions that a man be part of the traditional family is enabling privileged behavior. Very, very Catholic, if you ask me. Now, to add the cherry on top of this deconstructed cake, they give teachers the option to play a BuzzFeed video. Yeah, because BuzzFeed is all of a sudden the, center of news that we should be relying on for, things like Catholic teaching. They play a video where social justice warriors play a game where they checklist off all of their privileges. Have a look at this.
Privilege is a very loaded term.
In a word, is access.
An advantage that you're either born with or that was handed to you.
I think it has a lot to do with how your identity benefits from a system that has been in place for a very, very long time.
Yeah, winning the birth lottery, to put it bluntly. I expected this to go, but it's a lot of check marks.
I have worked as a waiter, barista, bartender, or salesperson. In fact, I've worked all 4 of those jobs.
I was a barista.
I worked at my aunt's restaurant for one weekend.
I have never attempted suicide. I've never been depressed. Like, all that just kind of hits a little too close to home.
Not having student loans is the thing I feel luckiest about my life.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
I do not rely on public transportation. See, you don't think about public transportation when you think about privilege.
I knew that I was privileged, but this survey is making me think of a lot of things that I don't actually think about on a daily basis.
It's clear that this is a sick attitude made to instill a victim mindset into the lives of Catholic students, warping the gospel message into nothing but a watered-down, feel-good-about-yourself biography. Now, if this is really what Jesus preached, I do not think he would be beat to a pulp, scourged, forced to carry a cross, and then crucified. And yes, that's rather harsh, but true. To go even further, the Catholic Curriculum Corporation supplies gender identity and expression. Ooh, my favorite. Lessons for students as young as 12. To cut to the chase, nowhere in this lesson booklet do they intentionally mention the Catholic Church's teaching on celibacy for same-sex attracted persons, or condemnation of gender transitioning, that is, mutilating one's own body, even one's own genitalia. Totally appropriate for students at the age of 12. In fact, the lesson states, and I quote, "Catholic teaching calls us to be on a journey towards wholeness, to be who God created us to be. This is a journey that naturally involves questioning who we are as a whole person." Okay, for starters, someone that is not yet matured into a fully Catholic life, like grade 7s, at the age of 12, they're going to read this as nothing but, it's okay for me to question my God-given biological sex. They're going to be brainwashed into thinking that the glorious reality of God making two genders, male and female, is now somehow this warm, fuzzy, lovey-dovey journey, whatever that's supposed to mean. This is either an intentional attack on Catholic morals, or it's a message that intentionally twists the truth. Because the lesson planners at the Catholic Curriculum Corporation are too afraid to insert authentic Catholic morals into their plans. This thick booklet goes on with LGBTQ-friendly language, such as talking about the discrimination the community faces and how that's the fault of a privileged society, as we've previously learned, as well as a detailed history of the LGBTQ+ multifaceted identities, like being two-spirited and non-binary, whatever that's supposed to mean, and the crucial role we as Catholics are called, another buzzword, to accept and include, all because Jesus taught nothing but include others as you have been included. That's my favorite quote. This is by no means Catholic teaching and must be condemned and exposed as wrong, hurtful, and dangerous for the salvation of all the students' souls. Take a listen to this video they supply where a self-proclaimed transgender minor is giving a speech about her brave and empowering gender transition. Have a look.
I'm going to leave you with that same question. Why does it matter to you whether I am a boy or a girl? Or that I am in the wrong bathroom? Does it really matter to you which bathroom I use? Because it does matter to me. Would it hurt you not to know someone's gender? Because despite how uncomfortable it might make you feel, you assuming my gender makes me feel uncomfortable every day. All I'm asking is for you to just sit with that little bit of uncomfortable to make someone else feel better.
The curriculum says that after this video is played, the students should answer questions with the intention of justifying the reasoning this confused child gave in her emotionally unhinged rhetoric. Questions like, is it reasonable to request people to live with a little bit of discomfort? Should we care about how other people identify? So, I'm not a Catholic student anymore, though I am a product of public Catholic education here in Canada, though I wouldn't attribute my knowledge to the faith to their education. But here is my best answer to the above question. It is absolutely unreasonable. Firstly, in objective truth, this child is clearly deeply confused and hurting, emotionally, psychologically, and potentially soon to be physically if she hasn't already received permanent body-altering gender surgery. The basic biblical Catholic Christian answer that the curriculum should be proudly stating is men cannot become women and women cannot become men. God created us that way and we cannot change it. But instead, the Catholic Curriculum Corporation is insisting students praise this young girl for her emotional cry to be accepted in a falsehood. Here is the most loving, truthful answer any student or teacher will be given. The Catholic Church does teach that God loves everyone, and therefore His infinite and utmost powerful love calls us to change our sinful lives. We are sinners, and God's love will purify us into a perfect love with Him one day in heaven. People with same-sex attractions and people with gender confusion are meant to be in heaven. That is God's will for them. But salvation requires a change of heart and a turning away from sin. Actively living a homosexual or transgender lifestyle goes against what the Catholic Church teaches is necessary for salvation. Like I said, all of this was uncovered and investigated throughout the production process of a new and upcoming documentary film we're producing here at LifeSite called Education Over Indoctrination. So please stay up to date with us so that you can be sure to get other sneak peek and news bits like this video. And when the film comes out, you're going to want to watch it because it's bound to cause some hoopla in the Catholic education circles that we're seeing so frequently nowadays. So, like I said, please pray for all of those involved in Catholic education. For LifeSite News, I'm Myles Vosylius. May God bless you.